Hey you guys, this is Christina with Leads and Leverage. Looks like I'm having a little bit of internet issues or Facebook connection issues, so hopefully you guys can connect fine to this. Let me know that you're here. As always, I like to know that you guys are here. Let me know that you're watching this. If you're watching this live or in replay, thank you for coming, letting me know this. I'm going to check on the computer to make sure that I'm publishing and that you guys are going to see this. And yep, it's publishing, so it looks like we're going to be good. Hello, Mary. Hey guys, let me know that you're here. Today, we're actually going to talk about kind of the secret to targeting on Facebook for your real estate business. So we're going to talk about what the best targeting is that you can use for your ads. Because there's a lot. There's a lot of options. There's a lot of things you can choose. Lots and lots and lots and lots of options. So let's talk about this. I'm going to pull this up to make sure I see your questions and your comments and things. How are you guys today? I know you're here, so I see a couple of you. Remember, if you're watching this live, let me know that you're here. If you're watching this in replay, let me know where you're watching from. That'd be awesome. So when I talk about the targeting on Facebook, I'm actually talking about the targeting in audiences. So if you go to Ads Manager or Power Editor, you can access Facebook audiences. And in that, you can create different targeting combinations. And pretty much Facebook has a way to target any way you could conceivably want to target. So if you want to find people that love golf because you have a golf course home, or people who love water activities because you have a waterfront home, or people who love small towns, or people who love island living, or people who anything, you can target anyone, anywhere, just about. Hey Donna, how are you? So we're going to talk about, with all of these options, what should we do? So one of the things I see a lot of agents doing is using, like, there are vendors out there that are calling this secret database to get home buyers right away, and it's the likely to move metric. Now, let's talk about this for a minute. There's something called predictive marketing, and predictive marketing is fairly new. Well, it's not fairly new, but it's not an exact science, obviously. And what they do is they go through and they analyze the behavior of people, what they're spending on their credit cards, so where they're spending their money, where they're visiting, what websites they're visiting, things like that. So they take those and they go, okay, and then based on how long they lived in a home, etc. So they can they try to figure out who's likely to move. And so they create this audience metric called likely to move. And there are vendors out there, real estate vendors out there, that are telling realtors and real estate agents that there's a secret database of people looking to move and using that likely to move metric. Well, it's not secret. First of all, it's in there. But second of all, it is so sucky. It is a terrible metric. It's not accurate. It's just like shooting a shotgun to try and kill an ant. You may not even get the ant, even though you've spread everything everywhere. So it's not good. It's not a good metric to use. There are better metrics to use if you want to get listings, if you want to get buyers, things like that. So basically, don't use that metric. But what kind of targeting is best? Well, let's get real here. The best targeting on Facebook is the homeowner metric. That is the absolute best. It is the most accurate targeting on Facebook. So Facebook is a place where you would go to prospect for listings, prospect for homeowners. That is probably, which is awesome because, online always used to be mostly about targeting home buyers, but with Facebook, changed everything. So first of all, you want to use the demographic, not the interest, but a demographic of homeowners. So there's a couple of things on this. You want to use the demographic of homeowners. You want a homeowner in a specific zip code. So you want to use a zip code, not a town, not a county, not a state, a zip code, a single zip code. So zip code plus homeowner. And you also want to use lives in. There is an option on there where you can just choose everyone in a certain location or lives in a certain location or visiting a certain location. You want zip code plus homeowner plus lives in, and you want one more metric. And this metric, and people don't really talk about, but this metric is it's the language metric. You absolutely want to use the language metric. You want to use English US. Now, if you're in another country or you speak another language, use that metric, or use that targeting option. But you want to include English US. And the reason why is because that way you're less likely to get fake people. There are groups of people in India and Middle East and Asian Pacific Rim countries that go through and they create these profiles, and they try. It's kind of like when people ambush a hashtag on Twitter. It's the same thing. What they do is they try and ambush a targeting metric on Facebook so that when people use that, they can go and do whatever they're going to do with it. So one of the ways that you want to do this is you want to get your targeting as dialed in as possible so that you kind of avoid the broad strokes. So for example, one of the things that they've done is they have ambushed soccer moms in Pennsylvania. They have before or taken over. So you want to make sure that you are using these metrics. You want that zip code. You want demographic homeowner, not interested in homeowner, but an actual demographic homeowner. You want somebody who lives in that area, not is visiting or not passing through. And you want to use English US. This helps narrow down your fake, you paying for ads to go out to fake audiences and ambushed or taking control of things like that. So it's just like the hashtags. People can spam a hashtag. They can spam some targeting stuff too, especially when they create Facebook profiles for self-reporting stuff. So we want to do that. We want to narrow that out as possible. They cannot ambush homeowner via the demographic term. So that's really good because that's actually from demographic information. It's not self-reported. The zip code is self-reported, but the homeowner is not. And lives in can be self-reported, but again, they have to be a homeowner that lives in that zip code. And then of course, add that English metric. So that will help you. So that's 4 pieces that you want to add. And this is kind of the ideal. Even if you're going to run buyer ads, I would do move up buyer ads versus just a plain buyer ad. I would not run to renters. I run ads to quote unquote renters. The demographic, the metric is not accurate enough. I would not run to likely to move. I would run ads to zip code plus homeowner plus lives in plus English US. That's what I would do. Hey, Jerry. Hey, Donna. How are you guys? Any other questions or anything? And I might go over this a little bit. How are you guys doing on your ads and running things? Do you have those 4 elements in there? Are you using a zip code? Are you using demographic homeowner? I'm very specific here. Just because you type homeowner in the in Facebook targeting doesn't mean you're going to get the demographic. You want the demographic. That is an actual reporting stat, whereas interests are just based on maybe their web crawling behavior, the web surfing behavior, or pages that they like or things like that. So you definitely want to use that demographic. And then you want to make sure that you use the lives in feature. It's a drop down right when you choose your zip code. It's right above that feature will let you know that if they're in that zip code and they're a homeowner and they physically live in that zip code, then you're going to get the right targeting. Now, when you run your buyer ads, run them to homeowners, target move up buyers. That is the most accurate. So that's what you can do. Those things are the most accurate. And don't forget that English US metric. So between homeowner and English US, that will help. That will really help making sure that you don't get those fake profiles and pay to run to people who are not your target audience. So some of my members were asking why, even though I'm targeting, why am I getting these fake profiles? And usually it's because one of those major pieces is missing. Because people can self-report on Facebook that they live in a certain zip code. They can self-report they can self-report their language. However, Facebook also takes into account the language that they speak on their profile when they post. So you want to make sure to add a couple of elements in there that don't take away too much, but also make it harder to get those fake people. Donna's using all the metrics. That's awesome. Hi, Jerry. Hi, Martha. I know Renee is here. I think Mary's here. Or was here. So, yeah, so I just want to make sure that, let's see, Jerry says, for like ads, I use our town plus 10-mile radius, homeowners in English. This seems to keep the cost per like very low. Okay, so you're not doing zip codes. I would suggest a zip code, and make sure when you're doing that town plus 10-mile radius, you probably live in a small town too, so that's a little bit different than zip codes, but make sure you're using lives in, not just passing through or everyone in this location. Make sure, because here's what happens. If you use a location plus homeowner and you say everyone in this location, what it'll do, especially if you've got people who work an hour away and then, work where you are but live an hour away. If they're a homeowner and if they're in your location, it'll pop up for your ad. But they might be a homeowner in Idaho and you're in Georgia. So you want to make sure that you say your area, zip code, homeowner, lives in that location. You want that. And then, of course, English US. So hopefully that helps. Any other questions, you guys? I've got more, well, not just for this one, but I've got more. I've got so many questions that I'll be answering on future episodes of The Ribbit Show. So, especially over the next several weeks, I'm just lined up with questions I'll be answering and helping you guys with. So I want to make sure that I get all your questions answered. Let me know if you have questions. If you're watching this in replay, put your questions in the comments below or to the side. I'll watch those questions and I will do a future episode of The Ribbit Show with those questions to help you guys. Anything else? Now, hang on for a second. How are you guys doing? How are your ads doing, especially after the holidays? Mine are doing a lot better. After the holidays, they get a little expensive over the holidays. Little slowed down, little whatever. Yeah, I forgot, Jerry, that you do live in a small town. So your town plus radius may actually work for you. So it may not work for other people, depending on where the radius goes. Awesome. Susan lost track of time. Yeah, we're almost done, Susan. It's super fast. And you know what? If you lost track of time, like doing your lead generating, that's okay. Because you're doing your lead generating and you're doing all the stuff that you need to do. That's awesome. Yeah. Any other questions, you guys? Any thoughts? Any whatever? I'm really excited. So many trainings coming up in the membership. Friday for my members. In fact, it's a lot of members that are on today. For my members that are watching, we are going to engage your sphere and get clients quickly. So that's the next step in the membership process or our member process. So we're going to go through and we're going to get you some clients right away. And then, of course, I just added a new training inside the members group, what you can do today to get listings next week. So, and you can only do it this time of year. So it's kind of awesome. I'm going to walk you through step by step exactly what to do, all the different ways you can do it, etc. So I can't wait to show you guys that one. That one is one that brought us a lot of business. And now with Facebook, oh my gosh, I couldn't even imagine. It would be crazy. It would be crazy. So any other questions, you guys? Any other thoughts? Anything you want to say? Renee says, did you say we use the same 4 metrics for buyer ads? Yes, because that is the most accurate. I would target them as a move up buyer. So always be thinking that move up buyer. So they already own a home. So possibility of 2 transactions there. So they already own a home and they're going to want to move up. So your ads are going to be a little bit different. In this case, you're going to kind of target the lifestyle desire, which in most ways, the most success you're going to have is targeting that ideal lifestyle that they want. But consider your move up buyer and who you're targeting and what their next move up is. What do they want? Are they moving from a first time home buyer to a second house? Are they moving from their big house to their final place? Not dead, but like maybe an empty nester space or something. What are they doing? So consider that move up when you do the ad. So yes, you want to use those. Those are the most accurate. I think one of the problems that people do is they use the renters or the likely to move to try and get buyers, and it's just not accurate. So go ahead and use homeowners and see if, target them on the buyer. I mean, kind of tug at those heartstrings or those desires to change their location, change their neighborhood, change their house, things like that. Move up buyers. And again, 2 transactions. So any other questions, you guys? I don't want to leave too soon. I just want to make sure I get all your questions. I keep looking at the screen to make sure I'm not missing any comments or questions. Yeah, you're welcome, Renee. Anything else? I've got a couple more minutes with you guys. Anything, let me know. All right, you guys, so I'm going to wrap this up. And I'll watch for your questions or comments if you're watching this in replay, and I'll do more episodes of The Ribbit Show. So that's all there is today. This is Christina with Leads and Leverage. Thank you so much for your questions and your comments, and keep them coming, and I'll keep doing future episodes. Have a great afternoon, you guys.